Welcome to Kevin 27 World. It shows Kevin 27, and this is an ultimate episode of This is Cinema number 28. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm just here to shit on this movie because I hated it. And we talking about Silent Night. Okay, yo, John Woo, much anticipated return. And let me just go ahead and break it down for you. So this is a Christmas movie, and this is the last movie I've seen. So I could be a little jaded, it could be a little recency bias or whatever, but it was the worst movie I've seen in theaters this year. So this movie is about a father, Joel Kinnaman, who seeks revenge on a gang after his son is killed in a drive-by shooting on Christmas Eve. The movie also stars Catalina Sandino Marino, which is the mother from which I'm a real huge fan of that show. But it was directed by John Woo, and who also produced John Wick. Now I went into this movie knowing it was going to be limited dialogue. So I'm immediately thinking it will be a lot of action to carry this out. It wasn't. And honestly, I never want to see this movie again. It was terrible. You know, the son get killed in the drive-by shooting. We don't even know that until about almost half the movie is over. Like, we don't know why this man was chasing these gang members. We don't know what was going on. All of a sudden, we just know he got shot in the throat and he ended up surviving. And that was cool. And I get what they were trying to do, but let's keep it real, bro. The wife, she had no reason for her not to talk. It's not like he was deaf. There's no reason for her not to talk. And there was so many times where she just wasn't talking. And also, the guy, the main guy, doing the whole alcoholic thing. If I wanted to watch an alcoholic crying about missing their child, I'll just look in the mirror. I was not feeling the sad sob story. It just was too freaking much. And I have to say this, Kid Cudi was also in the movie. I heard no hums, no like y'all know how Kid Cudi do with the humming, man. And honestly, bro, it was just a major letdown. Now, the action we did get towards the end was really good. It was some really good standout moments. But other than that, this movie was is an atrocity, a shit show, and I do not recommend. Honestly, I never fell asleep on a movie so fast in the theaters. It was so boring. It was just, oh my God. Yo, even the Rotten Tomatoes, yo, I don't even know how it even got 59% on the tomato meter. Okay. The audience score is 50%. So you know it was bad, bro. Like, yo, I mean, watch it if you just want to watch some shit, action Christmas, but it didn't even feel Christmassy. That was another thing about the movie. Some of the movie take place during Easter, all that, man, get that out of here. Definitely number 28, okay? Number 27, Expendables 4. And oh my God, the movie was an atrocity. It was terrible. Jason Statham got a movie coming out in January called The Beekeeper. He was so bad in Expendables 4. I'm not even sure if I really want to go see that movie, to be honest. Like, I might have to start bootlegging again, messing around with Jason Statham, okay? I mean, I like Jason Statham, but for some reason in Expendables 4, he was expendable to me, okay? And who wasn't expendable was Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester still has that charm. He still has it. And as soon as he went out of the movie, it was over. Like, it just wasn't as good. So 50 was in the movie. I went to go see the movie because 50 was in it, grew up a G Unit fan. And his acting in the movie wasn't that good. And honestly, he didn't really have much room to act in the movie. I mean, I get it, star-studded cast or whatever, but nah, that movie was definitely like out of 5 stars. You get like a 1 on the GTA 5 Richter, like just a slap on, like, just a regular punch in a civilian, like, nothing serious with that. Like, seriously, like the movie was bad, bro. And then honestly, then Sylvester Stallone comes back at the end. So it made the whole sacrifice plot just worthless. I mean, terrible. I highly recommend do not watch that movie. Number 26, Shazam 2. So if I did a top 10 most disappointed movies from 2023, I think this would be number one on the list. So hopefully I'm not burying the lead for my New Year's Eve show, but I don't think I'm gonna do a top 10 most disappointed because I really don't want to excuse me. I really don't want to shit on stuff in New Year's that much, but I'm gonna keep it so real, man. Shazam 2 just was not good for me, especially considering number one is I would say one of my favorite DC films. Like I really, really love the first Shazam. So going to see this opening weekend, it started off hot. Guys, remember doing my for those who listen, my Shazam 2 review, I said that the beginning started off kind of on the level of Infinity War, just the thrill of it, like the anticipation with the two ladies starting off heavy, and then honestly, it just turned into the worst superhero film of the year for me. And I mean, I don't even think it's close. Like this movie was not as good as The Flash, and The Flash, while initially I rated it higher than a lot of people, I think I regressed to the median after seeing it again. Okay, so I just feel like Shazam 2 was just overly bad. Just the actors, not the actors, but the character of the young guy, which is like the kid, and then he turns into Shazam, which is the superhero. They just didn't really have good chemistry as opposed to the first one, right? The first one they had way more chemistry and it was a little more believable, or actually it was just better because he was a young kid and then you turn it into a superhero. Well, now he's like a pretty much like an adult. He's like damn near 18, still a teenager, but it just it just didn't mesh as well as opposed to the first one. And honestly, quite frankly, neither did it didn't with the rest of the crew as well. Like their kid selves just didn't match well with the adult selves. Specifically Megan Good. Her character just was eagerly annoying. I'm just gonna be so real, like, and I don't even know why, but I just really did not appreciate her character. And then honestly, the whole I'm gay situation just coming out of nowhere. I just felt like the Panda Express was a little too much sweet and sour on that orange chicken from Panda Express, okay? A little too much sweet and sour and Beijing beef. Like it was a little too much on that plate. And I just was not feeling that, man. Like, you know, let's just treat the gays like they're regular people, okay? I think that's appropriate for 2023, and to see that type of panderism, I just wasn't excited about that. They like designed a pander. Like I wasn't feeling it. And then so I didn't have too much problems with the CGI in it. I just felt like the fighting wasn't as special as the first one. And honestly, I think it was like the worst. I think it was just the worst story from any of the superhero films this year. So, number 27, I mean, second to last, Shazam 2, trash. Get that up out of here. Okay. And I'm gonna say this too, while I'm on it, while I'm thinking about it. Just because I'm ranking a movie low, it doesn't mean I don't like it. But if I am ranking it low, I'm gonna have a lot of critiques about it. So, because it's a couple of these movies that I did like I enjoyed it, but it was critiques. Okay, number 25, we have Blue Beetle, and again, yo, Blue Beetle was just it was just bad to me, to keep it so real. And again, this is what I was saying about the origin story. The superhero origin story might be dying because I just don't feel like they're being told as well. And it's like, how many different spins can you keep putting on origin stories? And Blue Beetle was like a mixture of Iron Man with a mixture of wanting to be Spider-Man Homecoming, and then with Baseless, like I didn't feel like this was Hispanics, and to me, I didn't really feel like I got too much out of it as far as being a black viewer trying to integrate with Hispanic culture, and of course that could be my own biases because of how well Black Panther was done. Even though Wakanda is fictional, still was a lot of they actually still brought you into that world, and I think Blue Beetle just failed to do that again. And actually, even with like Wakanda Forever with the Aztecs, I felt like they did a way better job and telling me about. And I'm guessing that's Hispanic culture. I'm not sure, but if I'm wrong, somebody comment and correct me. But I definitely gave it 2 out of 5 stars. You know, I actually went to go see that with one of my listeners. Had a good time, and yeah, it just honestly, I thought the movie was just lacking. The grandma, they try to do this badass grandma thing, like it wasn't good at all, to be real with you. And then I really feel like they could have went and did that and went back on and dug deep into that story, and they didn't. So yeah, man, the action was lackluster. The dialogue not memorable. The comedy just wasn't there. Like it was all cringy. George Lopez, yo, I just did not I did, I did not appreciate George Lopez in his movie at all. You know, so yeah, man, Blue Beetle just wasn't it for me. So that's another reason. That's why it's ranked so low on the list. It just wasn't it for me, man. I thought it would be better, especially considering my coworker told me like, "Oh man, it's like the best DC origin story," and I'm like, "Okay, we gonna see." And then I'm like, "No, I prefer Catwoman over this." Like seriously, like Shazam was a better origin story. I never seen Wonder Woman, but I mean, shit, y'all know I didn't like the Batman either from last year, and I thought that was better. So yeah, man, Shazam just or not Shazam, but Blue Beetle. I mean, shit, they're damn near in the same ballpark, one after another. Both was asked to me, and yeah, I'll never watch that movie again. It's on Max right now. Haven't even tried to click it. I have no aspirations to watch Blue Beetle again, and I hope they don't make a part 2 to it because it was that bad for me. Okay. Number 24 is Knock at the Cabin. Now, I'm going to be so real with you. I actually forgot that I went to go see this movie because, I mean, it was in February. So it was so long ago. I actually forgot that I went to go see this movie. For some reason, I thought the first movie I went to go see this year was Ant-Man 3, and it wasn't. It was Knock at the Cabin. And yeah, this movie was it was cool. Like when I went to go see it, I thought I thought the idea of the movie was good. So yeah, it's ranked pretty low. I like the idea of the movie, but yo, I'm gonna just keep it so real with you, man. Dave Batista, his acting in this just did not do it for me. I mean, he's good as who he is as Drax, but as a serious character, man, I just don't like his acting. I didn't like him in the zombie movie last year. I didn't like him in Knock at the Cabin, but I did go see it because I thought it was an interesting premise. You know, the four what was it? The four plagues or some shit. It was cool. While vacationing at a remote cabin in the woods, a young girl and her parents are taken hostage by four armed strangers who demand they make an unthinkable choice to avert the apocalypse. Confused, scared, and with limited access to the outside world, the family must decide what they believe before all is lost. So the premise was because I needed a refresher. So the premise was you had to kill one of you guys had to kill each other, like, right, to save humanity. So either you guys stay alive and watch all of humanity die, right? Or you kill one another, not everyone, but just someone got to kill someone. And then you go on and all of the plague stop. It was like nonstop rain. It was meteors, or it was all kind of crazy shit that was happening. And yeah, I mean, to me, it was just a no-brainer as to what to do. Some people had a problem because it was like two guys as a dad, but to me, that's just regular stuff. So honestly, I had no qualms about that. That didn't have anything. I just thought it was pretty generic, to be honest. And again, some of the acting was just a little too iffy for me. So yeah, it could have been better, but regardless, it was a pretty good movie. It was pretty good. I'm not mad. I wasn't mad I went to go see it. So Knock at the Cabin, it was pretty good for a horror mystery film, that's for sure. See, that's my first kind of positive, even though it was low. Kind of positive, but. Number 23, Strays. And yeah, Strays. I mean, it was a cool movie. I didn't have like too much of a problem with it. So this is a movie starring Jamie Foxx and Will Ferrell. And I'm gonna keep it so real. I really went to go see this movie because of everything that was going on with that Jamie Foxx's health. So I was like, yo, let me go check this movie out. And it was all right. Strays is a 2023 comedy film about an abandoned dog who teams up with other strays to get revenge on his abusive owner. The film stars, well, I already said that. That it really isn't what it was about though. So AI is wrong on that one. That's not really what it was about. Like he was abandoned, but initially he was not trying to get revenge on his owner. He was actually trying to get back to his owner because he thought his owner just kept dropping him off places and he thought it was like a game. He didn't realize he was like really abandoned. And he kept going back and going back. Then the owner would drive his ass to the next state and then he'll still find his way back. He actually only turned up on the owner because the owner tried to kill him. And there was a couple of dogs and they ended up saving him. But I thought it was a cool premise. I thought it was okay jokes. A lot of potty mouthing. Come on. That's kind of what I expected because how else could you make like a dog movie about dogs really funny? You got to have potty mouths. It got to be some inappropriate like kind of sex jokes. And they did that. So it was okay. I wasn't mad that I seen it. I didn't fall asleep on it. So it kept me entertained. And I wasn't mad at it. And would I watch it again? Probably not. But if I'm chilling with my lady and she like, oh babe, I want to watch Strays, let's watch it. I'm not mad. I'm not like, oh, this woman has terrible taste in movies. Like it's okay. It's a cool movie to like have on in the background while you doing your thing. So yeah, this is a cool movie. It was all right. Not really too much to talk about it on that, honestly. So we can just move right along. Number 22, The Blackening. And so The Blackening, I actually enjoyed this movie. I took off for Juneteenth because they don't do pay a holiday. So I took off for that day, and I went to go support my black business and I went to go see The Blackening. And yeah, this movie's at number 22 for a reason because yeah, it was cool, but I'm gonna be so real with you. I expected a cast like with these characters, man. I thought it would be way more funny, and it wasn't. Like it wasn't funny at all. Like I don't want to say at all, but it really wasn't funny, and it was too predictable. Like, come on, man. Like when I see Melvin Gregg in a movie, and who Yvonne Orge, I'm thinking more like it'd just be a little more funny, and it really wasn't. So that was like my main thing about the movie. Like it just wasn't funny. And then you see all these black people, you expect it to be funny, and it really wasn't. Dwayne, I think he was the gay guy. He was actually the funniest, and that's I don't know if that's starting to become a stereotype or are gay people just funny as fuck. Like, are gay people just the funny? And when I say gay people, I mean gay men. Like, is it just gay men? Are they just the funniest people on this earth? Because every time it's a gay person in a movie, they always steal the show. They always steal the spotlight. Like, and I'm not even kidding. Like, yeah, like even a movie like Mean Girls, right? Like the gay dude was like he was probably the second star next to Lindsay Lohan. That might be a hot take. I don't know, but he was like you. She doesn't even go here. Like just funny as fuck. Like bro, like the gay dudes be funny as hell. So that's like that was on brand. But as far as um a collective, black people supposed to be a little more funny. Also, this movie was a little too much, and I get it, you pandering to black people because it's a black film, but it was like too much pandering to black people, and I'm black, so a lot of the jokes they just wasn't funny because it's jokes I heard all my life, like so it could have been a little better, but it was a good watch, for a Juneteenth release, so I don't regret seeing it. It was all right. Oh, and the horror was just horrific. Like the horror was horrible. Like seriously. And I get it, yo, black people, we don't do horror that good. Like Jordan Peele, the best we got. But other than that, black people don't do horror good. Like so, I don't know, man. That shit was no, but it was cool. It was cool to watch. But definitely, you're not cracking my top 20 with this movie. Number 21. Talk to me. No, this isn't the movie about Petey Green. This is a movie about some Australian kids, and they was actually playing this game with a dead hand, and the hand was like getting them high, and they was going to like the fucking underworld, or it was some crazy. It was a crazy premise. Not even gonna lie, crazy premise. Execution poor. I'm just gonna be so real with you. And on top of that, I'm gonna keep it so real. As a 32-year-old man, movies just really aren't scary anymore. So when you actually like try to make a movie like this, it's not really going to be scary. So a lot of it was just kind of just ridiculous. And teenagers irritate me. So I'm like seriously, like it was a cool movie, but nah, man, would never watch this again. And it's not like I didn't regret seeing it, but at the same time, the date, the person I took on the date to the movies to go see this, I really wish we would have went to go see Barbie. But yeah, talk to me. Nah, I'm not a fan of it. Actually, let's see. Yeah, it's a group of friends who discover how to summon spirits with an embalmed hand. Yo, yeah, they on that wet, man. That shit. It's on that wet. All right, man. We moving on, man. That movie was it was cool. Not cracking my top 20 though. So finally, number 20, The Flash. And yo, I had high praise for The Flash, honestly. When it came out on my first viewing. Second viewing, I really didn't like it. I don't know why. To be so real with you, I cannot understand why after I seen it the second, because when I maybe because I'm gonna keep it so real with you. I don't really know shit about DC Comics at all. So maybe that's why when I saw the Flash the first time, I was just like, oh, it was pretty cool, but I don't know. I really don't know what it was. But the second time I seen it, I just what? The first time I appreciated what's this guy name? I don't even remember his name, man. Ezra Miller. I appreciated it. I think that's what I appreciated his acting. I thought he acted very well. So I think it was a little bit of that because I thought his acting was very well, or he acted very well, and he was very good in this film. Um, his off the film, off screen issues aside, his on screen performance was very good. Um, I think what I think when I it's just the second time I seen it. I seen a lot of his flaws that I didn't really catch the first time, and it just looked disgusting to me. Like the whole babies falling out the hospital scene. You know, him ending up in a different universe again, and I thought the message was a little weird. Like the whole message was like, "Oh, well, you can't change the past. If you change the past, this is going to mess up this in the future, and this is going to mess this up." And then it seems as if he's learned his lesson and he still tries to change the past with getting his dad off. Like it just, I don't know. It didn't really make any sense, man. It kind of makes you wonder about James Gunn. He's what did James Gunn said? Oh, this is one of the best superhero films I've ever seen. Come on, man. Nah. So a historic flop at the box office. But I guess it wouldn't be worse than the Marvels, so that just lets you know. I don't know if it's a superhero movie thing because I mean shit. Ezra Miller is a white guy. No one went to go see that movie, so it could be just an indictment on superhero films overall, coming up. But it is what it is. I thought it was cool flick, but I did see it twice, but I will not be seeing it a third time. That's for sure. Okay. Okay. Number 19, Retribution. Retribution, you know, I thought it was pretty good. I had for what it was. So we went to go see this movie on a $4 movie day, right? And so my expectations already were very low, right? I had really no expectations. But it's a 2023 action thriller film starring Liam Neeson about a banking executive who discovers a bomb in his car while driving his children to school. This film is a remake of the 2015 Spanish movie El Desconocido. Um, so I actually like the premise too, with him being trapped in a car with his children, reminding me a little bit of a phone booth, that movie. And so I liked it. It didn't remind me of Taken. That was another reason why I really enjoyed this film. My only problem with it was just the annoying bratty ass son. And that could just be me and getting in my older age. But man, every time I see little annoying ass teenagers, bro, like in films with their little snarky ass attitudes and shit, um, yeah, I just don't like it, man. Like I just get irritated by it. So I'm not sure. But it was a really good movie. Very predictable, I might add, with the friend being the bad guy at the end. I just knew that was coming. That's one thing I hate when I could like a movie is too predictable. So that was my big critique on the movie. A little too predictable. I want to be blindsided, man. Like I want to be like, oh, I did not see that coming, and I really hate when I can forecast or I foresee the future on a film. And this was one of those. But again, the standards were very low. So yeah, man, this movie, yeah, if you on a little date night, you want to watch something with your boo, a little quick movie. I think this was what maybe 90 minutes. Yeah, 91 minutes. Yeah, this is a good movie to watch with your boo, man. Or if you want to just watch something quick, man, quick flick, watch Retribution. I thought it was good for the type of film it was. Okay. Number 18, The Equalizer 3. Yo, this movie. So, yes, I do like this movie more than Retribution, but I was way more disappointed in this movie than Retribution because we have this thing called expectations, and I almost wanted to swap them. But I was like, no, because I did like this movie a little more because I mean, come on, Denzel, his acting is unmatched, it's unhinged, But this movie was too predictable. And another thing is this movie, I don't like anyone playing the game on easy. And when you drop this type of movie the same year as Keanu Reeves drops John Wick 4, I need to see a little more action and I need to see a little more ass whoopings. Now, he did get shot in this film, but that was predictable because he got shot by a fucking kid. And I'm gonna keep it so real. When I'm watching this film, I was like, in the beginning, as soon as he's walking by, he let the kid go. I was like, the little kid gonna shoot him in the back. Little kid shot him in the back. So instantly, I'm irritated already because what I just tell you. On the last one, I don't like uh too much predictable in the plot. Like I don't like too much things to be predictable in the plot. That was too predictable. Now I did like the country he was in and all of that stuff, but yeah, the whole bully the bullies thing, that trope is played out, and that's all that was. It was like, oh, watch, watch the Equalizer bully the bullies. These are mafia guys, and they're bullying the town, and watch, he's gonna bully them, and yeah, that shit. Mm-mm. So yeah, that's a major critique for me. And that movie could have been it should have been a little more deeper if I'm just being honest. If I'm just being honest, should have been a little more deeper. Number 17, the Super Mario Brothers. Yo, this movie, again, we talking about expectations. I didn't have any expectations for this film at all. So when I saw it, everything was house money for me. We got what Seth? No, not Seth Rogen. Chris Pratt. No, Seth Rogen was in this film, but we got Chris Pratt, and I thought he was a good Mario. Actually, the music is what surprised me. Obviously, the Peach song was very special. Jack Black did his thing in this, and it would be hard for me not to put Jack Black's character as one of the top 5 villains, from 2023. Maybe that 6 to 8 range, but for sure, maybe. But I'm thinking for sure top 5. I think he was a really good villain. As far as the plot, I thought it was a good plot, digestible for children. I'm gonna keep it so real, mind blown as to how well it did at the box office. But that's when I learned that I have a PlayStation. I'm a PS5 guy. Okay, so I didn't know that Mario is still super big on Nintendo. Obviously, that's their thing, but I didn't know, man, that kids still play Mario. So yeah, a lot of kids were very excited because when I went to go see this movie, it's not like when I go see Marvel movies. When I go see Marvel movies, it's mostly adults. When I went to go see this movie, it was a lot of kids. Now I was just like, whoa, Super Mario Brothers was a thing when I was a kid. And it was a thing like before then too. But like when I was a kid, Super Mario Brothers was a really big thing. So to see 2023 still a big thing and still be, I think it was the second highest grossing film of the year because I know Barbie was number one and I think this was number two. So yeah, man, it's actually incredible, man. So I have no qualms, no problems, really about Super Mario Brothers movie. To be real with you, I thought the plot was really good, and I thought the beginning, middle, end, the climax was good, and the saving the day of it all was good. And yeah, I would definitely watch Super Mario Brothers again. I think it's on Netflix right now, and I would definitely watch it again. So Super Mario Brothers, really good film. Number 16, Saw 10. So this movie, I'm just a big fan of the Saw series. I've seen every Saw movie I've seen, and I believe I've seen almost most of them in theaters. It was a couple of them I missed towards the end, like 8 and maybe 9, I think. But I seen the one with Chris Rock, so I enjoy the Saw series from the beginning. Okay, so this is just like a great, what they call it, swan song. I'm not sure if this will be the main character. I'm not sure if this will be his last time doing it, but I mean the traps. I thought, because I mean, come on, we all watching Saw to see the crazy traps, like and I thought the traps that Jigsaw drew up was pretty good, and the misdirection of it all at the end, because that's what they're known for, is the misdirection. And I actually did think for a second I thought that they was going to kill Jigsaw in this movie, but they didn't. And I mean, that's a little predictable, but for a second I thought he was gone. So yeah, man, I really had a good time watching Saw 10, to be honest with you. This dropped September 29th, and I thought it was a really good film, considering, the circumstances, a little under 2 hours. It was a really good film. And I would watch it again, man, if I just want to be cringed the hell out. These type of movies, though, I don't watch a lot because even though I know it's fake, even though I know it's fake, just seeing all that ripping motherfuckers' eyes out and dropping oil in their mouth and all kind of crazy, just like, I can't watch that all the time, but it was a good movie. I don't really have too many problems with it. So now we cracking the top 15. And we got The Creator on here. Number 15 is The Creator. So this movie, while it's cracked my top 20, and while it's cracked even the top 15, this would be another movie I would have on my top 10 as most disappointed movies of 2023. Actually, let's get a whole synopsis on what this film was about. So The Creator is a 2023 American sci-fi action movie. It's about a future war between humans and artificial intelligence, where a former special forces agent is tasked with killing the Creator, the architect of advanced AI. The Creator has developed a weapon that could end the war and humanity, but Joshua and his team discover it's actually an AI in the form of a child. Yeah, this movie, I thought it was good, but it wasn't great. And honestly, the commercials, the trailers led me to believe that this was going to be a great film and actually replace iRobot as like that futuristic war with artificial intelligence versus humans. But it didn't do that for me. Now, while I was watching it, thinking about what's going on with AI in the real world, it was a little creepy, a little crazy, considering how much you can do with AI. But it wasn't like too crazy watching it. Like it was a predictable thing. Like, oh, they're gonna find a way to make the AI the good guy, and as opposed to um the humans, and of course the Americans are the bad guy. And you know what? Y'all know how I feel, man. Like the predictability. I just hate that stuff so much. And I just that was a little too predictable, and I just I just think, like iRobot was good because Will Smith is just a good actor. And this guy, I'm not saying he's not a good actor, John David Washington. I'm not saying he's not a good actor. He just doesn't have that pizzazz that Will Smith, you know, like, oh, when he sneezes, you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit. There's no moments like that. And it's not fair to even compare. So I know that's not fair. But at the same time, a movie like that, bro, you need some like a standout. That's the human that's in the movie has to be a standout. I fear he was not. He just really he was okay to me. He wasn't. It's like, would I want to go see another John David Washington movie? I'm not clamoring for it. You know what I mean? It's not like, I didn't he didn't give me that feel like when I started watching Jonathan Majors and I'm like, okay, this guy is a great actor. He was good. He was okay, but you know, it was cool. But I probably won't watch this movie again unless, unless someone wants to just watch it. But as far as it was all right. I could have did without it. The creator, um, yeah, created just holes in my mind, to be honest. So yeah, disappointing for sure. Number 14, Transformers: Rise of the Beast. So this movie was a sleeper for me because I wasn't going to go see this movie. I hadn't seen a Transformer film since Transformers 3, right? I don't know, the Transformers franchise had just fell off of me. But this movie surprisingly was really good. So one of my homies, one of my listeners, he hit me up and was like, "Hey man, I'm going to see or actually I think he hit me up and said he's seen Transformers Rise of the Beast and it was really good and he recommended me to go see it." So I was like, "Shit, bet, man, say no more. Say less." I went to go see it and honestly I agree, man. It was really good. The main character, and this takes place in the 90s too, man. So the main character, Noah Diaz, yo, he was fired, bro. Like I thought he was really good. Like this is what I mean when I say an actor and you have that certain pizzazz, that swagger. Anthony Ramos, he possessed that in this film. So I really enjoyed him. And the other chick too, Dominique Fishback, which is a crazy name. Fishback is a crazy name. I'm not trying to, shit on anybody, but that's a crazy name. But as far as her acting, those two, they was like they was neck and neck. They was tight, and I really enjoyed them. We got Pete Davidson was actually one of the cars, and I thought it was so funny because I didn't even notice him, and I was like, your unrecognizable ass voice. But he was good though. His character was really good in the movie. This movie, again, it could be a thing of expectations, and I did not expect anything from this movie. But when I seen it, I thought it was very good. The plot from beginning to end had me locked in. The characters had me locked in. I actually want to see more of Noah Diaz and where he goes with his little brother and how everything works on with that. Remember, the ending showed that they're gonna do a little merger with GI Joe. So I mean, I'm totally invested now into Transformers more than I have been since Shia LaBeouf was on the cast. So again, that's what I'm saying. When you cast these characters with that certain pizzazz, you know, it makes you want to tune back in and see what's next. And also, the action, man, was incredible, and I would watch it again just to see some of those action scenes. Um, I think at first I was a little turned off with the robot apes and all of that stuff, but honestly, man, it was really good and it made sense. So again, like the film was really good, and I'm standing on it, man. It was top 15 for sure. Number 13, Scream 6. And yeah, Scream 6, fire. Um, the best Scream movie I had seen since the original trilogy. I'm gonna just keep it real. I thought the last few were very lackluster. Now, what I did like were the Scream series. I don't know if it was an MTV thing or a Netflix thing, but those were very good. But I really enjoyed Scream 6, yo. Like they brought back some of the OG characters, and I thought the coordination of the killing was good. And it was my first horror film that I did a review on, so you can go check that out. But yeah, I thought it was really good. And honestly, Scream Bros, definitely one of my tops when you come to horror, like horror villains. Like this Ghostface is the shit. And it's always like Ghostface. What I really like about Scream and what they do with the franchise Scream, it's not one specific person, like how Jason is just Jason and Michael Myers, that's him. And the Ghostface mask is always just some random ass motherfucker with an axe to grind. And I really like that about the Scream. And this one, it was what, two? I think it was like two Scream, like two Ghostface in this movie, maybe three. It was in New York, so it was different. Like it was a different scenery. So yeah, man, Scream 6, highly recommend. Now I haven't watched this again, but again, y'all know how I feel about the killing and all that shit. That should be cringe sometimes. But watching it the initial time, I am not mad at it. It was really good. Number 12, Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Amongst Thieves. So this came out March 31st. This was the last movie I've seen for March Movie Madness, or I had seen for March Movie Madness. And Scream was actually in March Movie Madness. Yo, I feel like that meme that's been going around lately with Vince McMahon. He's like that's how I feel like with March Movie Madness, bro. When I think about that run, that just 5 straight weeks of just straight heat, bro. Just straight heat, bro. March Movie Madness, hands down, was the best shit ever this year. But Dungeons and Dragons was really good. Actually, let's get a little synopsis of it. A charming thief and a band of unlikely adventurers embark on an epic quest to retrieve a long lost relic, but their charming adventures go dangerously awry when they run afoul of the wrong people. Um, yeah, I actually like this film, to be real with you. I think it was like some rich things like that they had crossed because he had got out of jail and he was trying to get his daughter back, but his daughter was with the rich dude, the king, I believe. So he was trying to win her back, or it was something crazy like that. Overall, it was a good plot. I seen it with my nephew. We enjoyed it. I thought the acting in it was good, and you know what I thought? I thought the comedy in it was very like I thought the comedy in it was very good. And as far as the cast, It was a really good cast. Obviously, Michelle Rodriguez as Holga the Barbarian. Uh, but I'm gonna keep it real, man. The guy that I really enjoyed was Zinc. He was like, and I said this then, he was like Drax, but not stupid. Like he was like very literal, like very like, very literal. So I enjoyed that as well. I enjoyed that as well. And honestly, I would watch that again. Dungeons and Dragons, really good movie. Chris Pine did his thing, and I would not mind watching it again. Number 11, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. So this movie would also be on the top 10 of disappointments. Now, while initially my first thoughts, I did like it, I did fall asleep on this movie 2 times in theaters. And then honestly, because the reception was so bad to the film, honestly, when you start watching it, you can't help but to find the flaws in the film. So, I mean, I said what? You see Jonathan Majors' character for like 5 minutes, and then you don't see him again for like 40 minutes into the film. That was a mistake. Like the whole Cassie of it all, as the daughter, she just, no one really cared for her. Um, Ant-Man, you don't see none of his homies. It was just too much in this film. And I'm gonna keep it so real. Jonathan Majors, for some reason, this version of Kang just really just had no oomph. Like when he's playing He Who Remains, he was very good. When he's playing Victor Timely, he was very good. But for some reason, this version of Kang, he had no charm. Like, and that's what you kind of gotta have as a superhero. You gotta have some, or not a superhero, a super villain. You gotta have some charm, and he really didn't have a lot of charm in this movie. So I really feel like that's why the movie kind of fell flat. And then it just, come on, man, my man's lost to a bunch of ants. Like he had that one part where he was like, he was yelling. He's like, "You think you can beat me? I am Kang." Like that was good. Other than that, he really nothing really memorable. Like he didn't really say anything too crazy. Like Thanos had just so many bars. Like couldn't live with your failure. Where'd that bring you? Back to me. Like he just had a lot. You get that crazy ultimate combo from Tony Stark. Damn. All that for a drop of blood. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, he was the man. Like, seriously, like that's what I'm saying. I think when you kind of compare him and you're like, oh, this is about to be the next big thing since Thanos, it's expectations again, and it didn't meet it. And honestly, Ant-Man isn't the type of character where you want to see him beating or killing Kang. And that just was a bad representation. And honestly, I think it was a bad way to start phase 5 for Marvel. And I think it made a lot of people check out, you know. So I think, to be real with you, the downfall of Marvel so far could be straight linked to um Thor Love and Thunder, Ant-Man, and She-Hulk, if I'm just being real. But yeah, it just wasn't it I liked it though. I'm not gonna sit here and say I didn't like it. It's almost in my top 10. I did like the movie though, because I just love the way Marvel tells superhero stories. So I did think it was a good story, but I just think the quantum realm just lacks the beauty of the world. Like it's not like when you watch the Marvels and you see them traveling to different planets, and the quantum realm is dark, is dreary, is gloomy, is boring. Like, and you don't really see the effect that Kang had on the quantum realm at that. So that's another reason why it's just it fell flat a little bit, but I liked it. And then of course, come on, man. Cassie, she was just bad. And the whole reason why they got down there, like, it just was ridiculous. Like, so yeah, man. Number 11 for me. So before we get to number 10, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe on this video on YouTube. Make sure you give a 5-star rating at Kevin27 World, at Straight Outta Marvel, on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And please follow on Spotify. Also, please make sure you are on Instagram, giving a follow, and on Twitter, giving likes, comments, all of that stuff. It's much appreciated. And like I said, we are patiently awaiting What If. We got 9 episodes coming. So it will be 9 straight days of Marvel. And it's actually going to be, so in those 9 days, I might be dropping about 13, maybe 12 episodes. So like, I know I didn't drop a lot to start December, but to end December is going to be a lot of drops. So make sure you are staying tuned because it's all going to be dropping day after day once What If drops, okay? And that is December 22nd. What If, December 22nd, okay?